What's up guys, and welcome back to the channel, and today we are starting my coverage of Resident Evil Village, a game that I was anticipating with a lot of excitement and that surprised me in ways I wasn't expecting. If you've played the game already, you know that it's basically a nightmarish version of Disney World. There's the haunted house with the creepy dolls, a boat ride that you can take, and the whole thing is even divided into 4 themed lands. Seriously, this game could have been renamed Resident Evil Horror Kingdom or something. It's a horrific ride filled with mystery, monsters, and some of the craziest stuff in the whole franchise. And today we're going to be looking at the top 10 scariest and creepiest moments in the whole entire game, according to my own opinion. I had a really tough time ranking these moments, so they're not in any particular order, except for number 1, which is definitely the scariest. Next week we're going to be diving into the game's darkest secrets, so make sure to subscribe to not miss any upcoming Village related content. With all that being said, please keep your hands and legs inside the vehicle at all times and enjoy the ride. The first area you get to visit in the game, aside from the actual village, is Castle Dimitrescu, this huge Victorian Gothic fortress with a very somber past. On the upper floors, you get to see the family's riches through the marble tiles, golden ornaments, and expensive statues and paintings. But that's just on the surface, because underneath lies a super creepy cellar and, worst of all, an actual dungeon fortified with iron cages, showcasing the darkest side of the castle's owners. These creatures might seem like your typical Resident Evil undead, but their backstory is much more tragic. But we'll get to that in the next video. Following your escape from Castle Dimitrescu, you unlock a second zone, which should bring you to House Beneviento, this utterly creepy manor belonging to an even creepier doll maker called Donna. But in order to get to your destination, you must first cross the Potter's Field, a burial place surrounded by a forest that doesn't seem too welcoming.
What?
Ethan, come with me. There's something I have to tell you.
Mia? What's going on?
From the heavy fog floating in the air to the creepy dolls hanging from the branches, or to the rickety bridge you must cross, Potter's Field is the perfect example of how to create a good horror atmosphere in mere seconds. Aside from the main areas, you also get to explore the village in these small open-world sections, although you're never completely safe, because who knows when a lichen might come out of the shadow or jump from one of the rooftops to eat your face off. And if there's one moment that takes advantage of that uncertainty, is this one. Pretty sure everyone jumped when they encountered that jump scare, mainly because of how unexpected it was. It's simple, but it gets the job done and turns the simple act of exploration into a horror mechanic. The lichens are not the only wolf-like creatures you'll get to encounter in Resident Evil Village. One of them is actually the result of an experiment that saw lichens get injected with actual wolf blood into their spine. If that sounds like a bad idea to you, well, you're right. The first time you encounter this beast is when you return to East Old Town. You can either decide to face the monster or sneak past him if you're low on resources. But trying to avoid him will lead you to a pretty stressful sequence of hide and seek, a moment that will most definitely increase your heartbeat. As you probably noticed already, Lady Dimitrescu is internet's favorite tall vampire lady, even though she's not an actual vampire. But behind her good looks, she hides a dark and grotesque secret. It's when you finally reach the castle's family crypt that she reveals her true nature. One that takes monstrous proportions when Ethan stabs her with the dagger of Death's Flower, a weapon she feared would lead to her demise. Mixed with the effects of the Kadu parasite, the poison blade caused Lady Dimitrescu to mutate into a massive dragon-like creature, which made for a pretty spooky boss fight. Not long after Ethan arrives at the village, he stumbles upon Elena and Leonardo, two villagers hiding from nearby lichens. The problem is, Leonardo got bitten by one of them. They manage to seek shelter in Luiza's house, but things escalate rather quickly for the old men. Clearly, the prayer they shouted in unison didn't work as intended.
What are you doing?
Leonardo, what's wrong? Are you okay?
We have to go!
On the brink of becoming a lichen, Leonardo kills everything in sight, forcing his daughter to finish him off with a shotgun blast to the face. I love this scene in the demo, but in the context of the full game, I enjoyed it even more. The slow build-up leading to this chaotic transformation made this scene one of the most memorable for me. Heisenberg's factory is a large facility located on the outskirts of the village, and it belongs to Karl Heisenberg. It is the last proper section of the game, which means that at this point in time you probably think that you've seen it all, right? Well, you couldn't be more wrong, because Heisenberg has been doing lots of very weird experiments in there, turning villagers into mechanical atrocities. But his most terrifying creation has to be this guy.
Damn it! Dead end.
There's something truly scary about a man with no arms chasing you around with a propeller on its head, and to make things worse, it looks like chainsaw blades are attached to it. Heisenberg definitely has issues. Have you ever wondered what would happen if you injected Lovecraft's DNA into Resident Evil? Well, Moreau's territory is the answer to that question. Not only does it look like a fishing village straight out of Shadow over Innsmouth, but it also features a fish-human hybrid called Salvatore. And let's just say that your first confrontation with him is interesting.
What the fuck is wrong with
Moreau is pretty much not even human anymore, but it's only when he goes into his second form and starts chasing you that things go from creepy to actually scary. Walking around precarious wooden planks floating on a putrid body of water while also trying to avoid this huge sea monster was pretty tense, and when I finally got to fight the creature, it became straight up disgusting. The art director of Village even said himself that they deliberately wanted to make Moreau the most repulsive character on Earth. I'd say mission accomplished. Following the traumatic events of the opening sequence, Ethan gets kidnapped, his daughter Rose gets abducted by Chris Redfield, and he survives a car crash. Basically a typical day for Ethan Winters. He wakes up in a snow-covered forest overlooking a strange village. Obviously, hoping to find his daughter, he cuts across these dark and creepy woods and ventures into the small town. Already, the atmosphere is chilling. Very quickly, Ethan realizes that something's not quite right, but the nightmare only truly begins when he gets inside this particular house.
Oh no. They're coming. Who is? What the hell was that? You have a gun? What? Please tell me you have a gun. No, why would I? Take it! Take it! Help is out there. Hey, are you listening? Hey! What the? Shit! Dead body? Wait, there's more.
Yep, after seeing an old man being taken away by beasts, Ethan falls into a pit filled with dead bodies only to get his fingers ripped off seconds later. That's not what I called a peaceful trip to the countryside. Finally, at number 1 we have what I believe is one of the best horror sequences ever made. I'm pretty sure you guys know where I'm going with this. Yes, I'm talking about House Beneviento, most specifically the basement section. This is a masterclass in horror game design. It pretty much has everything. Clever scares, a brooding atmosphere, some very well done foreshadowing, a strong sense of mystery, a well-paced build-up, and a super creative creature design. If you thought that a dollmaker's house sitting on top of a foggy hill couldn't get scarier, think twice. Being chased by a giant fetus at 1 in the morning wasn't the most pleasant experience, but it certainly was one of the most memorable moments in Resident Evil Village, but also in the whole franchise for me, which is why it deserves the number 1 spot on my list. Thank you guys for watching this video, I hope you enjoyed it. I had a really fun time going back into the darkest corners of what is currently my game of the year. If you did enjoy it, please consider subscribing and dropping a like. But also maybe check out the other top 10 video I did for Little Nightmares 2, and don't forget to come back next week as we look at the game's darkest secrets and backstories. I also have a Patreon if you want to support the show and a Discord server that you can join right now.